Now to more on that fatal officer-involved shooting earlier this week in Stiern Park. Tonight, friends and family and members of the community gathered for a prayer vigil for the man who was killed. Eyewitness News reporter Matt Boone was there. He joins us live in studio with what the man's family is saying tonight. Matt?
Kurt, we learned today that the man who was shot and killed was 47-year-old Daniel Hernandez. Police say he'd been shooting a gun in the park, but tonight, members of his family and friends spoke out, painting a very different picture of that night.
There's an army rising up.
Nearly 100 people gathered in Stiern Park to offer their prayers for Daniel Hernandez.
He's not a bad person.
It was an emotional night for Guadalupe Lira, who could barely hold back tears while remembering her former boyfriend.
I was praying about it, and then I remembered that God said he would never leave us alone.
Hernandez's brother was also there, saying Hernandez had just left his house that night. He says he heard gunshots about 15 minutes later and knew something was wrong.
There wasn't anything in my heart that told me it wasn't him, because that was my brother. I knew him, and I felt him.
At the scene, witnesses told detectives they'd seen Hernandez shooting a gun in the park. When police arrived, they say they told Hernandez to drop the weapon, but say he refused, so they opened fire.
This doesn't make sense.
While she didn't see it happen, his girlfriend says she still has trouble comprehending that account.
It wasn't like Danny to endanger children. It wasn't like the news made it out to be, like he was running around waving a gun.
But for his brother, no matter what happened that night, the news was still devastating.
I'm not trying to hear anything about gangbanging or anybody else. That's my brother. That was my heart. It's not going to be an easy walk. I'm out here at 4 o'clock every morning now because I know that this is where he was. This is where he is. I see him everywhere.
The officers involved in that shooting were Senior Officer Jose Galvan, who has 9 years experience, and Officer Jesus Trinidad, who has less than 1 year on the force. Both officers are on paid administrative leave until the investigation is complete. In studio, Matt Boone, Eyewitness News.